Hey, welcome back to the 24-hour praise party Tuesday tune up with your host, with the Holy Ghost, Ron Dortch Jr. We're still continuing in our study, Every Which Way But Loose. We're presently in the 27th chapter of Genesis, concentrating on this scheme taking place with Rebecca, her son Jacob, and the husband Isaac, and also the brother Esau. So last week we talked about how those closest to you are the ones most likely to work witchcraft on you, which is nothing more than manipulation, deception for the sake of control. And we say this is possible because of trust factors. People who take advantage of your trust. People who have, for ill gain, have made sure that they're close enough to you to take advantage of your trust factor. You've put down your guard, and you're not looking for these particular individuals because, again, these are close friends, these are relatives, and so these are the last people you would think who are set out to harm you or do you any harm or have any ill intent towards you. But oftentimes, if you live long enough, you find out that's just not the case. It's those closest to you plotting your downfall. So when you're dealing with manipulation, it's not uncommon for spouses to manipulate each other. It's probably one of the most common things. Wives may use affection or sexual favors to manipulate their husbands to do something they need done or to purchase something. Or husbands may be great providers. They don't require for their wives or their spouses to work, but they use that as a center of control. Because I make all the money. You're not really allowed to ask me any questions of what I do or where I've been because I'm the breadwinner, and I'm using my position as breadwinner to control you. Same thing with children. Children are just as manipulative. Everybody knows or grew up with that child that when they're around their parents or anyone in authority, they're the sweetest angels, but soon as they get out of that circle, then they become these demonic beings. It's like they have double personalities, and so they do all types of evil things, but no one ever catches them doing this, and so they manipulate their parents into thinking that they're one way with and knowing good and well that they be up to no good. Children play on your feelings. Children can pick up if you the type of parent that just all you need is a good story. You know what I'm saying? So they play on your emotion. They the sympathy card, the pity card. They play on your emotion. They give you a story. They always got a story for why they got in this situation, and the parents fall for it. So just you have to be careful with those that are close to you. Well, in our study in the 27th chapter of Genesis, deception is starting here with Rebecca. Twice she has instructed Jacob to obey her voice. You know what I'm saying? And when we know we should be obeying the voice of the Lord. Parents are some of the most malicious manipulators on the planet. They are the foundation of our circle of trust. These are the first individuals we come in contact with. So often parents are guilty of passing on their biases, their prejudices, their ways of thinking, and they use their position in your life as mom or dad to convince you how they go about doing everything is the proper and right way. And so when you're young, you're naive, and you haven't been exposed to any other instruction outside of mom and dad, there's a strong sense of trust there. And so this type of relationship it creates the environment where parents get away with things like verbal, physical, and sexual abuse because they take advantage of the place of authority and of the trust of the child. Listen, dude, that's why God puts a lot of emphasis on the responsibility in raising children. In Proverbs 22:6, he says, train up a child in the way he should go. And I want to just let you parents understand that just from that right there, as a parent, you're only responsible for the training. You're not responsible for the results. The only thing God puts in your hand, the only thing that God trusts you with as far as influence and raising up children, and he asks you just to train them. Teach them the right way. Teach them the right things. And most importantly, teach them about him. Now, they're not, if you have taught them all the right things and they decide to make the wrong choices or to operate opposite of what you've taught them, you're not responsible for the actions, just the training. And I say that because so many parents take on this guilt complex because they try to when they taught their children right and gave them the opportunities provided and put them in a certain situation where their children should have succeeded. They didn't have to go. They had to deal with certain social ills, and yet you see your child still go down the path of drug dealing, or drug use, or just criminal path, or just whoremongering, just all the things that you have taught them. They're not applying it to their lives, and parents often turn to themselves like, what did I do wrong? I don't understand. And look, you didn't do nothing wrong. You did everything right. Listen, the child at the age of understanding, there comes a time when the child has to take responsibility for their own actions. You have done your part, and it's not too much you can do outside of what God has instructed you. Though parents try to supersede their place in their children's life, supersede their roles in their children's life. Ezekiel 18:20 says, the son cannot bear the sins of the father, neither can the father bear the sins of the son. Well, Ron, why are you sharing all this with us? Well, it appears that during this scheming process that Jacob got convicted. The Holy Ghost must have got to working on his heart, because as Rebecca gives him this scheme of going to get the goat and putting the fur on his hand so he'll appear hairy like his brother, and all these things, he'll even smell like the field, and all he'll smell like his brother. As his mama is giving him the plot in the scheme, Jacob say, this ain't right, maybe, and we get caught and I'm gonna be cursed, and I want you to hear the words. Here's Jacob, verse 11 in chapter 27. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. Take note of that word, smooth. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing. Listen to Rebekah. And his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch me them. My goodness. It's a lot that went wrong right there, but my time is up. and we'll pick it right back up next week on the Tuesday Tune-Up. Remember, who loves you? God does, and so do I. I'll holler.